Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. We're going to get straight into an article by The Tab, and it's about missing Jack O'Sullivan. As his mother has launched a fresh appeal to find the missing student. So it goes on to say a fresh appeal has been launched in the hope of finding missing Jack O'Sullivan, who disappeared 18 months ago. Why it's been that long? It's just gone so quickly, people. It really has. The appeal has been launched by Jack's mother, Catherine O'Sullivan, who describes the last 18 months as absolute hell. Jack went missing in the early hours of Sunday, the 2nd of March 2024, after attending a house party in Hotwells, Bristol. And there's Jack there, people, looking very, very happy as well. There's such a shame that there's been no leads. Jack was last seen at 3:15 a.m. At 3:24 a.m., Jack called a friend. When they rang back 10 minutes later, Jack answered hello before the call cut out. Police have confirmed that Jack's phone remained active in the area until 6:44 a.m. Since his disappearance, multiple police and community searchers have failed to reveal any clues regarding Jack's disappearance. The O'Sullivans say they are no closer to finding what happened to Jack. Sharing photo of Jack on Facebook, Catherine O'Sullivan urged people to come forward with any information that could assist the investigation. She pleaded, please just stop and think, what if this were happening to someone in your family? Would you really sit back and let this happen? ? Please, we urge you to do all that you can to help us. She wrote on the social media, it's approaching 18 months since we was last at home. With us, 18 months of absolute hell and unimaginable pain without Jack in our lives. Catherine insisted, we know someone out there knows what has happened to Jack. Catherine also criticised Avon Somerset Police, describing the investigations as a total disaster. Because obviously the police believe that Jack went into the water, and after that investigation that they dealt with, it didn't seem like to me they wanted to really chase this case or put money into it. And to be honest with you, Jack is described at 5'10", slim build with short brown hair. On the night of his disappearance, he was wearing a barber jacket over a beige wool jumper with navy chinos and brown leather trainers. There's Jack again, people. If anyone has any information that could assist the investigation, Catherine O'Sullivan has urged people to contact Avon and Somerset Police. For more of the latest information, follow the Bristol tab on the Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook page. So it's such a shame that actually nothing has come up in relation to Jack, which is really strange. Is he being held somewhere at the end of the day? That's one of the possibilities at the end of the day, or sadly is a sort of a body being held there, because obviously Jack from Flaxbourne, Somerset, was last seen in the early hours of March the 2nd, 2024. Everything's there on the AI mode on Google, people, and after leaving obviously the party in the Hotwells area, it seems like that, they was said that someone knew something on the Facebook group. But nothing really come of it. I know Ali Harris is looking into it. Hopefully she's got some more information. But like I said, the police tend to run quiet because they think he went into the water, and there was technically no proof that he was anywhere else. But like I said, his phone obviously pinged nowhere near the river. It was after that it was in the Hotwells area, and it was still technically traceable from there. That was part one, people. I'm going to see if I can find a few videos on this to follow this up. Thank you. Welcome back to part two, people. This is an excellent video by Unthinkable Truth, and she just gives the introduction to Jack. But like I said, police believe he fell into the river, but his mum doesn't think, Jack's mum doesn't believe Catherine that he fell in. So let us get straight into it. So what I'll do, I'm going to let this play straight through, people, and I will comment at the end.
Believe that Jack had fallen. fallen into the river at some point on his journey, but Catherine points out the fence next to the river, highlighting it's not possible to just simply fall into the water here. He'd have had to have climbed the fence. Catherine's sheer determination to find her son didn't allow room for this theory. She fought to view CCTV footage that might have captured more of Jack's journey that night, and she was eventually successful in doing so. A figure can be seen here crossing the Plimsoll swing bridge that Catherine is adamant is Jack by his distinctive walk. Because of the 8 minutes between the CCTV captured around Grenville Place and this image on the bridge, she believes that Jack may have realised that he was heading in the wrong direction when he was alongside the river, and so turned back on himself, then headed along Brunel Way across the bridge. Just moments before this clip, Jack attempted to call a friend who was still at the party. She returned the call 10 minutes later, and Jack answered with a single hello, then silence. The line stayed connected for about a minute, but no other sound was heard. Then finally, at 3:39 a.m, he is spotted again, this time along Bennett Way Slip Road, possibly heading back to the Hotwells area where the party was. This was the very last potential sighting of Jack. Police pursued their theory of Jack falling into the river, with dive teams searching extensively, including the use of dogs on the water, but their efforts have shown no results. So with no distinctive evidence for this, and especially no body yet found, the family aren't willing to accept this scenario. They are doing everything possible to locate their son and brother, to retrieve any possible answers that they can. Jack was last seen wearing a khaki Barber jacket, a cream lamb's wool knitted jumper, navy chinos, and brown Ralph Lauren trainers. And with him that night, he was carrying all of these items, which include an iPhone 11 in a red case, a Peugeot 108 key fob, and an Apple AirTag in a brown case. None of these items, however, have yet been found. The family thought that his AirTag would solve this case and locate their missing son, but unfortunately reports show that the tag wasn't registered correctly, so it yielded no results. This is despite the family claiming that Jack had showed them it working before he left for the party. Only 3 months in, the family filed a complaint to police for mishandling the case, following their loss of faith in their ability to locate their son. But why? Police had failed to register Jack's case onto the missing persons database for 2 months after his disappearance. Catherine has since had people telling her that they may have had Ring doorbell or even dashcam footage from that night, but because police hadn't issued public requests within 60 days, their footage was tragically overwritten, therefore missing a crucial window of opportunity. On top of this, the areas that the family suggested to search near his last sighting were dismissed as being outside of the perimeter, and police have refused to share areas that they've already searched, as well as Jack's phone data retrieved from his network provider, despite the phone being registered to the parents. All of these missed opportunities led the family to seek help from elsewhere, as well as carry out searches for themselves. At 14 weeks, investigators uncovered a disturbing detail. Private investigators questioned the party guests, and it's not known exactly how it happened, but they revealed that Jack smashed his head against the stairwell. It's unclear how accurate this is, or how significant it may be in Jack's disappearance, but police were unaware of it until then. To this day, Jack still remains missing. There are no confirmed leads, no concrete evidence, and no closure. Catherine believes that her son may have gotten into a car while trying to flag down a taxi. A disappearance in itself is just heartbreaking, but to disappear into thin air without a trace, it's
bizarre.
just unimaginable to
bizarre.
think what the family are going through. The investigation has since hit a standstill. Jack's story hasn't made mainstream headlines in months, but online, it's people like you keeping this case alive. So please share Jack's story, share his name, his photo, his poster. Let's keep his face seen. Both Catherine and Alan are living any parent's worst nightmare, and with no evidence to say Jack is no longer alive, but equally no information to say where he is, they're feeling stuck. They're convinced that someone must know something, especially with likely 400 vehicles passing through the area while Jack was walking around on the 2nd of March 2024. It's not exactly normal to see someone walking alone between 3 and 4 a.m, something that would likely catch your attention. Someone must have seen something. The family are offering a £20,000 reward in hopes of someone coming forward with vital information in their son's case. If you think you know anything at all, no matter how insignificant you think it might be, please find all of the relevant contact details down in the description and also pinned in the comments. Catherine has said, "Despite being sent messages that we should face reality, that we might not see Jack again, we are not prepared to give up on our son and brother. What family would?"
That was from Unthinkable Truths. That was a really, really great video there. And it's so important that any lead, especially on the Facebook group, or if someone saw something or is afraid to come forward, I'll put my email into the chat. And if anyone's got any information or what they think what happened to Jack, where he might be, is very, very important. I do believe that the police think that he went into the water and his body was never found after searching it, and they seem to have exhausted all avenues and don't seem to want to look back into the case, even though the family have made complaints as that sometimes thorough checks wasn't done. And obviously the private investigator seemed to have found out a hell of a lot more, which the family hired, especially interviewing people that went to that party, which was quite odd. And I'm surprised nobody had come forward in giving a description of Jack banging his head or what he was like at that time. That's quite bizarre anyway. Let me know what you think, people. Someone says, "Hi, I'm a licensed private investigator. Please feel free to reach out to me regarding the case. I may be able to help." That was Steve Fisher. Someone must know something. Help the family, please. The police are a joke. I agree. That was a user. 494413466187. I agree there. But like I said, if there's any information, I thought about this case again, and it was kind of strange that Catherine had put something out in the tab a bit earlier and probably across this week and last week to say that they want to put Jack's missing case back out there again. It's been 18 months, people. Let's hope we get some more information on where he might be. Thank you very much indeed. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment and follow the channel. Appreciate you all. Thank you.